As many already know, Evian is a water brand that has been in business for nearly 2 centuries. You may have seen their commercial where some CGI animated babies roller skate to a catchy song, and another commercial where some unsuspecting adults look into their reflection and see a baby version of themselves. They're both pretty goofy commercials. It's how many people know about the company and their Live Young slogan. For context, Evian has had a history of using babies to advertise its products. The idea started in the mid-1930s when doctors started vouching for Evian because of the amount of minerals it contained that was ideal for babies specifically, thus appealing to a demographic of people who are generally health conscious. In 2009, following the launch of their Live Young campaign in the early 2000s, they released their Roller Babies commercial, which ended up becoming a viral hit, garnering millions of views on YouTube. It even held the Guinness World Record for most viewed advertisement in the world. Fast forward to 2011, and Evian would launch their Baby Inside campaign. The whole idea of the campaign was to inform people that drinking Evian water would make them feel youthful and energetic. Both of these campaigns were successful, and the popularity of the Roller Babies commercial brought in more revenue for the company. Then, in 2013, they released their Baby&Me commercial to emphasize the youthful and energetic theme of their Baby Inside campaign. However, alongside the commercial, Evian also created an AR-oriented app that allowed users to turn themselves into a baby. Just like the commercial, it was called Baby&Me. For those unfamiliar with AR, it's an acronym for Augmented Reality. To give an example of what AR can do, Pokemon Go uses this technology to simulate Pokemon as if they were real. You're able to walk around in the real world via GPS and encounter wild Pokemon and catch them. You can take pictures of your Pokemon using your camera and more. In other words, augmented reality blends the digital world with the real world. This is accomplished by many factors, but with smartphones, it's accomplished using the back-facing camera so it can identify surfaces and objects in the real world. Then, digital content like 3D models is overlaid on the camera view. In the late 2000s, augmented reality was implemented into smartphones and surged in popularity in the early 2010s. The concept of bringing the digital world into the real world certainly fascinated users and developers, including Evian. To capitalize on the augmented reality craze and capture the attention of the public, Evian officially launched the Baby&Me app. Baby&Me was essentially Face App before Face App, although not as advanced as today's technology. The main idea behind it is to take a photo of yourself or choose a photo in your camera roll to turn that photo into a baby version of yourself or other people using facial recognition and AR technology. Afterward, you could post it on social media and share it everywhere. A standout feature of this app was the ability to mimic facial expressions onto the AR-generated baby and capture facial features like hairstyles and face shapes. Eventually, the app faded more and more into obscurity. It was taken down from the Apple App Store and Google Play sometime in the late 2010s, and trying to use it with an emulator only leads to an error screen, so there's no way of using it today. Still, thankfully, there's surviving documentation of the app. YouTuber Lonnie Dose uploaded a Let's Play video of the app 2 months after it launched. In that video, he demonstrates the app by taking a picture of himself, only to wait 20 minutes for the picture to process. Once it finished, he expressed his dissatisfaction with how long it took and how inaccurate the baby picture was compared to his actual face.
Alright, so that looks nothing like me. I mean, we sorta have a similar hair color, but a lot of the bad reviews on the app said that it pretty much just looked like they just took a random picture of a baby and put it next to people's faces.
And that was the main criticism other users had when using the app. The Baby&Me app faced unanimous criticism and complaints, with the app even receiving a 1-star rating on the Apple App Store, with the reviews alleging that the app was misleading as the baby pictures that were generated were just generic pictures of babies put next to people's faces, while also not looking as accurate as Evian promised to users. The long loading time was also a huge downside, as many people weren't too fond of waiting up to 20 minutes just to see a baby version of themselves that most likely wouldn't even be accurate to what they looked like in the first place. Overall, the Baby&Me app most likely didn't give Evian an advantage in marketing, as its glaring issues left users disappointed despite Evian's ability to create entertaining advertisements for their products. Despite everything, however, it was unique for what it was, especially given that it was a marketing stunt by a water brand of all things. The Baby&Me app never really left a long-lasting legacy after it was shut down. It just faded into obscurity and was never talked about by anyone again. Although the app was a disappointment according to many users, it was trying something new and unique, and it captured intrigue in many. They would go on to market more campaigns for their brand, still focusing on the appeal of purity and living young. And they continue to adapt to the digital age with social media and various other ways of marketing their brand. And with that said, this has been a deep dive into Evian's Baby&Me app. Thank you all for watching.